the whole sort of dynamic and the energy changed of the audience. People sort of cared less about how to, the fun, the gameplay of how much they enjoyed the game. And it was like, how can we find an exploit, or how can we forage the most money out of it? Because you've got this mindset of either you're making money or you're going to play a game for fun. You can't marry the two, and I think that's what I have sort of learned over the last few years. You can't marry these two different mindsets. Either you go into a game thinking, listen, I'm going to pay you $10, I'm going to have a great time, that's it, I don't care, or I'm going to go into this game and I'm going to try and earn as much as you can. And that's why blockchain gaming has got away with such crappy games, to be honest, because, if it's play to earn, you can get away with like a little Axie model or a little, some of the avatars you have in some of these metaverses are so low polygon, but it doesn't matter because you're earning. So what excites me a little bit is, so these are the kind of lessons we've learned. So play to earn it on its own isn't sustainable. I mean, you can't just give people money to play your game. Number one, there isn't a market for it. I mean, you're competing with the likes of Blizzard, Ubisoft, Activision, whatever, who are like these multi-billion dollar markets, whereas the play-to-earn market is probably about, 500 million or something, and that's if you include the sort of market cap of tokens, which I think is a bit of a cheat, really. If you include the market cap of Sandbox and Mana or Peer or our own token, you can't really include that as what the market size is of play-to-earn. Whereas, companies like Blizzard and Ubisoft, they sell console games and PlayStation, multi-billion. So you're competing with a market which is not the demographic you want to sort of go with. So what we found out of this is, instead of trying to sort of bring the two together, the two sort of, bring good games with crypto and put them together, and you get this third enormous industry, is a different demographic coming out. It's the idea of being attached and having an emotional attachment to what you own inside the games. I probably say this story every time I do one of these talks, but I mean, we made Vulcanverse. Vulcanverse, by the way, is a Greco-Roman sort of mythological fantasy MMO sandbox. You can terramorph and make your own sort of underworld statues and all sorts. But we made the game from scratch around the community. But because the items inside the game were NFTs, you could actually own them. So, you could own a wolf, it's called an alpha wolf, or you could own a Vedasina. Because you own the NFT, there was this sort of emotional attachment of the community where it didn't matter that the game was broken, you were building out around them, because they knew that was there. There was only one of 200 centaurs, there was only one of 200 Medusas, it was theirs. And that emotional attachment you've got to your asset within the game is something you can't have within the other games, within the centralized gaming industry. Yes, it's bigger, yes, people are happy paying to play, but with an NFT you do have, and it's an investment of course as well. I mean, you are spending money on a limited supply asset that will, in theory, either grow or not. So that's the main differentiation between blockchain gaming and main gaming. So that's the second lesson that we learned. So one, play to earn. If you're going to have a secondary token, and we have Lava, the more you play, you get Lava, which is our secondary token. It has to be a circular economy. You can't just let farmers come in and take it all. It's just not sustainable. You need to find ways to put that money back into the economy. And that's where you use gamified techniques that World of Warcraft use. Level up your character, level up your sword. In our case, Lava powers our blockchain Elysium. So there's always a use case for the secondary token. That keeps it a little more balanced. So it has to be a circular economy. It has to be going back into it. Then focus on the ownership and the fact that this is a new demographic. You're not going to compete with the likes, I mean, not yet anyway, maybe I've got this totally wrong, and in 5 years time all the major game studios are all NFT run. Like I said before, the minute you start putting that sort of mental energy of people wanting to just earn money, it takes out the creativity side of it. You look at Minecraft, goodness me, I don't know how many users it has, maybe like 50 million, or maybe it's more, maybe I've got that completely wrong, but it's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. Axie Infinity just became enormous because it had 250,000 users just join in a few weeks. Now that is a tiny amount compared to the gaming industry. Tiny amount. Look at the World of Warcraft users compared to Axie Infinity. Still, you're looking at hundreds of millions compared to whatever. So people thought, Axie Infinity is going to be the future, but it's not. Gaming is still the market. Now you look at Minecraft, what they're doing is they're creating, they're not earning. They're making things, and it's they don't mind showing it off. They want people to explore and see what they're creating, and that's what, as I think blockchain game studios have to tap into. Forget the idea of just trying to pay people to play your games and this whole play to earn sort of philosophy. If you could sort of utilize the idea of immutability, what you're building is on blockchain forever. Like, you can save something on the blockchain forever, and I think that's what our next product, Metascapes, is doing. What it is doing, Metascapes, where you can actually, everything you build on your plot is saved to the blockchain. So you build your plot of land and it gets saved as an NFT, we call the ELSM1, and then you can sort of get other people's plots from there, and you can sort of link them all up together into a world, and you can explore it in VR, and you sort of put a focus on creativity. I think that's the key. So yeah, so I mean, from a GameFi studio point of view, I think focus on the benefits of blockchain, adapt, obviously. The Metascapes idea has got a lot of interest from the big people and the right people, and we're very, very excited where it's going to take Vulcan Forge, and I think the future of the Metaverse.